Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samar News. Here are today's headlines. Iran's Revolutionary Guards have warned that safeguarding security is a red line, and the military vowed to protect public property as the clerical establishment stepped up efforts to quell the most widespread protests in years. Unrest continued overnight. State media said a municipal building was set on fire in Karaj, west of Tehran, and blamed rioters. State TV broadcast footage of funerals of members of the security forces it said were killed in protests in the cities of Shiraz, Qom and Hamedan. Pakistan has issued a travel advisory for its citizens regarding Iran, urging them to avoid unnecessary travel until the situation improves, citing safety and security concerns. The Foreign Office has advised Pakistani nationals to refrain from all non-essential travel to Iran until conditions stabilize. The guidance was issued in the interest of public safety. 4 oil tankers that had left Venezuela with their tracking systems switched off are now back in Venezuelan waters. State oil company PDVSA and monitoring service tankertrackers.com say the vessels departed in early January, operating in so-called dark mode amid a strict US blockade. Most of the tankers were reported to be fully loaded. The return follows the departure of around a dozen loaded ships and several empty vessels last month, in what appeared to be a challenge to an embargo imposed by US President Donald Trump in mid-December. The sanctions have sharply reduced Venezuela's oil exports. On the other hand, US President Trump has issued a new warning to Iran's leaders, as videos showed anti-government protests raging across the country, and authorities blacked out the internet to curb growing unrest. Trump said he hoped the protesters in Iran were going to be safe, because that's a very dangerous place right now. He warned Iran not to start shooting, saying, "We'll start shooting too." Greenland's parliament is moving up a key meeting to discuss how to respond to US threats regarding the Arctic island. In a joint statement, leaders of all 5 political parties in the Greenlandic Assembly said the meeting would be brought forward to address the situation. US President Donald Trump has said the United States must own Greenland, arguing it is necessary to prevent Russia or China from gaining control of the strategically located, resource-rich territory. Greenland is an autonomous region within the Kingdom of Denmark. Turkey is pushing to join a mutual defense agreement between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, a move that could significantly alter security dynamics across the Middle East and South Asia. According to Bloomberg, Turkey is seeking entry into the defense pact signed last September between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. The discussions have reached an advanced stage, and a deal is considered very likely. The agreement states that any aggression against one member would be treated as an attack on all, closely mirroring NATO's Article 5, of which Turkey is a member. Civil liberties and migrant rights groups have called for nationwide rallies to protest the fatal shooting of an activist in Minnesota by a US immigration agent, as state authorities opened their own investigation of the killing. Protest organizers said more than 1,000 weekend events were planned across the country, demanding an end to large-scale deployments of US immigration and customs enforcement agents ordered by President Donald Trump, mostly to cities led by Democratic politicians. US President Donald Trump has met with executives from some of the world's largest oil companies at the White House to discuss Venezuela, saying he wants them to invest $100 billion in the country to vastly expand its production. Trump has named oil as the priority for his strategy for the South American nation, after US forces seized its leader, Nicolás Maduro. Trump said at the opening of the meeting that American companies will have the opportunity to rebuild Venezuela's rotting energy infrastructure and eventually increase oil production to levels never ever seen before. Meanwhile, Trump has said that the United States needs to own Greenland to prevent Russia or China from gaining influence there, intensifying a controversial push over the strategically vital Arctic territory. Speaking to reporters at the White House, Trump reiterated that the US must have full ownership of Greenland, rather than relying on leases or military access, to ensure its defence and keep out geopolitical rivals. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that he hopes to taper off Israeli dependence on American military aid in the next decade. Netanyahu has said Israel should not be reliant on foreign military aid. He said he told US President Donald Trump that Israel very deeply appreciates the military aid that America has given us over the years. But here too, we've come of age, and we've developed incredible capacities. Indonesia has temporarily blocked Elon Musk's Grok chatbot due to the risk of AI-generated pornographic content, becoming the first country to deny access to the AI tool. The move comes after governments and regulators from Europe to Asia have condemned, and some have opened inquiries into sexualized content on the app. XAI, the startup behind Grok, said it was restricting image generation and editing to paying subscribers. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samar.tv. Thank you for watching Samar News.